So we're running the generator because we just changed the oil. Make sure there's nothing leaking. I don't know why I did that. Hello fellow RVers, this is Gary with Rough Road RV Life. Today we're going to do a little vehicle maintenance on the old Rough Road RV here. We have several things we're going to do today. We're going to do a oil change filters on our generator. We're also going to do an oil change and filters on our motor. And we're going to install RV snap pads on our motorhome jacks. And we've been looking forward to that too. So you can check out the video on the snap pad installation. It'll be separate. We're going to break this into two parts. We're going to do a generator service, and then we're going to do the motor service as a separate video also. So it's actually three videos: generator, motor, snap pads. So the first thing we're going to do is this generator. Up front, it's an Onan diesel generator, RVQD 6000. That's the model we got. And maybe you're fortunate enough to have a generator that slides out on a tray that you can get to it to service it. We, or me, and are not that fortunate. We have to raise our jacks up a little bit and then crawl underneath there and do everything underneath, you know, laying on our backs. Old school. We gotta have an air filter, we're gonna have an oil filter, a fuel filter, and then about 3 quarts of oil. The same oil in our generator that goes in our motor, 15W40. We use Rotella T4 oil at both ends of the motorhome.
That's the oil plug right there.
First thing we're going to do is we're going to undo the oil plug and drain the oil. And while that's draining, we're going to move here and we're going to open up the little drop down lid. We're going to reach up in there a little bit, do the fuel filter right here in front, the 2 clamps. Yeah.
Right here. And the oil filter is right up in there.
We're going to reach up in there a little bit and take off the oil filter.
It's good to just take just a little speck of oil and put on the seal. So when you tighten it, it slides, it don't roll any. When you do the oil plug as well as the filter, always start them by hand so you don't cross thread nothing with wrenches.
Okay.
And then just tighten it as hard as you can with your hand. And you can put a wrench on it if you don't feel good about it. But we never had any problem.
Let's do the fuel filter right here in front. It's the 2 clamps. You gotta do the clamp.
And then that's the fuel filter. Always remember which direction it goes in. If you put it in backwards, it will not run.
And make a note of which way the fuel filter is facing, because it's one directional. You don't want to put it on backwards or your generator won't start. So make sure you got it put back on the right direction the fuel's flowing. Put that thing in, 2 hoses in there, clamp it up, nice and snug.
Just tighten the clamp back up. And that's that.
Move on over to ours is here on the other side of the motor. You'll see another compartment with a wing nut. We're going to do the wing nut, and that cover comes off. Inside you'll see another little wing nut that holds the air filter on. You're going to do that wing nut.
And all that just slides right off.
Okay, so that held on by the wing
and
nut.
Since we've done the maintenance on it quite often, it don't look that bad, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway.
Okay. Oh, it's right up in there.
and you just replace it and reverse the steps. Put the wing nut back on, put the cover back on, put the wing nut back on, and you're done.
While you got it off, just make sure there's no debris inside of here, leaves or anything weird.
Dead birds, wasp nest. Then we will move to the front. And of course, there's nothing easy in this motorhome to add fluids to. It don't matter what you're trying to add. It involves a 40-foot hose, and you know, you got to just run stuff up through everywhere. So anyway, we're using the flex funnel actually through the hood of the that covers the generator. Run it down through there into the fill, and then we'll go ahead and put in our 3 quarts of oil and fill it up, and we'll check the oil stick, make sure it's to the full mark. 15W40,
And now we wait.
same as the motor.
It's slow.
Here's an important thing to note.
Don't get in a hurry.
No,
Flexible funnel is your friend.
flexible funnel and maybe a slide out generator would help, right? How much more? Are we getting there?
A little over half a quart.
So we're running the generator because we just changed the oil. Make sure there's nothing leaking. I turned the switch off here. I turned the switch off so that the power wouldn't go through. Make sure it stays running too. Gave me a little fright there for a minute. Started up and turned off. But it was just priming the fuel, I think. And make sure everything's running. Nothing's leaking. And then when you see nothing's leaking, everything's running fine. Just button up the little hatch there where the oil filter is. And you should be done as the rain comes down harder. We are in Florida. It could be a blistering heat, and then 10 minutes later, this is what you get. Always when we're doing a video, though. Never fails.
Rain or shine, we get the videos out.
Now, if you give me 1 second, a little pause here, I'll get my book, and I'll tell you what it costs me to change the oil in the generator. I got my book. It's important to have the book. So about 3 quarts of 15W40 oil. I actually bought a gallon. Cost me about 16 bucks for a gallon of Shell Rotella T4. My oil filter, Onan oil filter, $18.55. A fuel filter was $14.68. My air filter was $14.99. I purchased all of this off of Amazon. So $64.22 is what it cost me to service my generator. Now I went online and looked up to see what one of the big RV centers. I believe they said they charge $349 for a generator service, oil change. So I thought that was a little high, and maybe better prices in your area, or maybe someplace else you might find a good deal on it. But it's really not that hard to do yourself, and I did it for, like I said, $62, and it doesn't really take that long. Now, the pro tip, I guess you might say, I'm not a pro, but if when you're buying your motorhome, or I guess anything with a generator, check to see if it's got a slide out generator over a fixed mounted generator like we have. You will find that the slide out generator generally costs less to service. If you have to take it somewhere, they don't have to drop the whole generator out like we had to have done once to have a simple sensor put in. So check and see if maybe you can get a motorhome or something with the slide out with a generator. Slide out trays for batteries are nice too. So have you ever changed your own or serviced your own generator in your RV? If you have, I'd like to leave a comment. It would be appreciated on how you did it. Maybe you did something different, a tip or trick. Maybe someone who is listening to this video, reading the comments might pick up something that might be useful to them over and above what I just discussed about what we did servicing our generator. Anyway, fun with generators. So this is Gary, Rough Road RV Life. Take care.